to see you guys. You guys are fucking patriots. Look at this guy. He's got respect for doing.
There's 4 million people coming in.
It's only a matter of time. Justice is coming.
What is the cost of lies? It's not that we'll mistake them for the truth. The real danger is that if we hear enough lies, then we no longer recognize the truth at all.
Why would I have anything to say to you? All you do is lie.
What else is left but to abandon even the hope of truth and content ourselves instead with stories?
It's the role of good journalism to take on powerful abuses. And when powerful abuses are taken on, there is always a back reaction.
Take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans, right. You're saying that's not gain of function?
That is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially.
When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Care about is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Fuck them. Okay?
Welcome, filthy right-wingers, to this highly proscribed and illegal internet episode. I am your Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, and I have just popped in via brain chip to make a few announcements on the down low. Obviously, I am doomed, much like this country, but my doom will be sooner, and I have already been assured of a cushy job at NATO or some large non-governmental organisation. I quite like the idea of serving on an international court, actually. I hear it's very, very cushy. However, in order to secure such an illustrious role, I have had to fulfill the demands of my Fabian backers, and as such I have once again declared war upon the white population of the United Kingdom. As you may know, the animating force of the Labour Party is its communities. The Jewish community, the Muslim community, to a lesser extent the black community, but not the white community. Obviously, whites are not a community, they are a bunch of filthy ethno-nationalist far-right thugs and criminals. As a result, I will be rolling out further punitive measures for those who are trying to resist the inevitable enrichment by migrants into parts of the country. Every white town needs to know the benefits of diversity. Ramdeep, Suckdeep, Ubungo, and Mr. Singh will of course fit in perfectly into your white towns. Well, we've basically taken out all the cities already, but there are still many, many towns that are far too white. I can't even believe that I am saying this word. Of course, with the recent attack on the synagogue in Manchester, I have rushed police resources to protect synagogues, and with the burning, attempted burning of a mosque shortly afterwards, I will also be rushing money and resources to all mosques around the country. Churches are not really of the government's importance. Secretly, we are hoping that more of them get burnt down. So I just want to inform you all, perhaps you could try being less white. I, of course, managed to get around this by marrying a Jewish wife and converting to Judaism. So this is not going to be a problem for me, but for the rest of you out there who insist on clinging to your notions of an imagined past, you need to get with the program, or the program will get with you. Thank you, and good night. Welcome back, everyone, to another Habbening TV. Thank you very much to Keir Starmer, to Keir Queer Starmer, the Llama Harmer. They say he's a grievance farmer. Fuck. Mate, every single time that guy comes in via brain chip, I feel a bit greasy, a bit dirty afterwards, or perhaps it's the imminent case of COVID. I don't know, but I'm feeling a bit weird, feeling a bit greasy. I hope you are all well. Yes, we're down to like one show a week at the moment because of the Friday stream. Hello to I know we've got some people from Friday stream in the chat. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Tonight we have the Manchester Synagogue attack. Just a man, he was a muzzy, right? A muzzy attacked a synagogue. Apparently his name was Jihadi al-Samri, which literally means jihadi from Syria. Whether or not this is a real attack or, some kind of like glow up has yet to be determined. My sort of basic stance on everything now is that everything is fake until proven to be gay. You can understand why I would because things start out fake, but then later with further research are proven to be highly homosexual, which is the way of the world at the moment. I miss the time, when stuff used to happen, and the first thing that didn't cross my mind is like, is this a psyop? I don't know. But as always, Starmer, as he said in the opening, has rushed legitimacy and funding to the Jewish community, a very, very sort of important voting bloc. And then, of course, there was a firebomb thrown at a mosque, and so Keir had to do a pivot and rush resources to the Muslim community, all while the whites are sort of standing in the middle, being like, "Do we get anything rushed to us? No, you get nothing, sir. You get nothing." This comes shortly after the aborted Labour conference. Oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad, right, that even I have a legendary tolerance for cringe, right? Just ask anyone in the chat, right? I have been exposed to levels of cringe that would make a lesser man fold up into a small origami crane and set themselves on fire. But even I cannot deal with the cringe that is the Labour conference. Fuck. Oh, mate. Oh, it's just, it's starting to, I don't know. I mean, I thought my tolerance for cringe was unlimited. There was no cringe that could get to me, but it seems, bros, that there is a limit. Like a sponge full of water, my cringe runneth over. I can't take any more. So yeah, we're covering some of that. And our final story, it looks like the net zero thing is slowly unraveling. Obviously, until the government gets booted out and changed, it's not going to go away entirely. But the Net Zero Banking Alliance, which was this sort of like big kind of like money thing where like all the UK banks got together and they were like, oh, we're only going to spend money on net zero causes and stuff like that. You'll never guess what happened, bros. I know I'm as shocked as all of you. They lost a whole bunch of money because it turns out that net zero isn't profitable and is just basically a way of funneling government money via subsidies to green fuckwits. I know I'm surprised as you, but banks, of course, there's only so long you can get banks to ignore their bottom line, and that seems to have happened. So the Net Zero Banking Alliance has collapsed. So hopefully this is the beginning of the end. Oh, I don't know. don't know, man. Like, which is going to collapse first, the net zero or the country? Place your bets, bros. Place your bets. There's other stuff going on as well. There's like the Gaza deal. I might cover that like next show. I'm sort of waiting to see how that shakes out at the moment. Briefly, Tony Blair came along to Trump, and he's sort of like, President Trump, I have a peace deal. I've been very good at peace deals. Perhaps we could turn Gaza into a new, highly surveilled ghetto, a cyber ghetto. It sounds so nice. We will finally denazify the Palestinians. And Trump was like, that sounds like a great idea, Tony. I've tried, I tried, but nothing happens. So they presented his 20-point peace plan, and apparently, like, Hamas has agreed, and apparently the Israelis agreed. But since both sides are completely untrustworthy, I don't know where this is going to go. Most likely, outcome is that it's going to collapse. But you never know. So let's see who we've got in the chat, shall we? On Rumble, Livia Drusilla, good to see you, Livia. Origent Party, good to see you, mate. J Chiva Loophole, Sede Sapiente, Total Blackout Painting, good to see you, man. Who else we got in the Rumble chat? Anybody else? Captain Crisps, good to see you, mate. He's not only the hardcore, the hardest of the hardcore, and he is, of course. I will not be on Discord and Dragons tonight because I got to nurse this incipient case of COVID or whatever. But you should go watch. Edie Wolf, good to see you too. Anybody else? I think that's everybody on Rumble. On YouTube, we have Arakeen Green Moon, Jacob Cantrell, good to see you, mate. One of the fellas from the Friday stream, Robert Verlinden, Victorian Time Traveller. Who else we got? Aaron C. Clown Time Chronicle. Oh, I think you're new. Welcome. Schrodinger's Gaffney, good to see you, mate. Swirly. Who else we got? Oh, my brain's like running. James Cole. Hurt Chain. Who else? Sunny Jim. I think that's everybody. And on Odyssey, we have Just Years and Total Blackout Paint. Well, thanks for coming, guys. If you want to support the show, you can do so with the entropy link because I'm not monetized on YouTube. Oh, Full Short is on Rumble as well. I can apparently be monetized on YouTube now. I don't know whether I should. I'm gonna have to give like YouTube, like literally, like dox myself to YouTube. I don't know. Look, maybe I should just like wait for the Russian tech bro money to roll in, or perhaps Israel will give me like $7,000 a post. I hear that's quite the thing. 2 days meme. Beans, Mexican food, very very happy. Arriba. Beans, British food, sad, sort of overcast. How could you not get that meme? Only people who don't get that meme have either never eaten proper Mexican food or never eaten English beans. Anyway, oh yeah, so everyone in the chat is saying that they've got the whatever bug is going around London. That's that's one of the great things about London being part of a sort of viral community, right? As the seasons change and time goes by, everybody winds up sharing the same infectious pathogen in a sort of gross, sort of snotty brotherhood. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. Right, let's get on with it. Let's see. We start with the Manchester Synagogue attack. Now, again, as I was saying, is this a glow up? I don't know, right? So the UK government recognised Palestine. The Israeli government was very, very unimpressed by that. A bunch of these sort of militant Israeli organizations started saying, there's going to be attacks and stuff. I don't know why the Muslim community would attack after the recognition of Palestine. You would think the opposite, but I don't know, right? But what we do know is that there was an attack. This was 2nd October, so about 4 days ago. 2 Jewish people were killed and 3 left in a serious condition after a car ramming and stabbing attack outside a synagogue in Manchester on Thursday. Now, I've got to dispute this. Knives are illegal in the UK, so I don't see how there could be a stabbing attack. And the laws on cars are really quite strict. Of course, we all know that to make something illegal is to eradicate it from the earth. So I don't see how this random attacker could have possibly got hold of a knife, unless it was one of those little plastic butter knives. And if it was, I certainly hope it was properly licensed. The victims have been named as Adrian Dolby and Melvin Kravitz. One of the victims was hit by police gunfire. Oh, man, I shouldn't laugh. That's... Mate, that's kind of that's terrible, mate. Oh God, I mean, was this one of the guys that got stabbed? Did he get stabbed? Right, he's lying there stabbed, and then the police come along and like accidentally shoot him. Oh, dude. Oh God, that's very. I wonder if the Jewish community is going to demand that they have their own SWAT teams now to prevent this kind of tragedy happening again. I don't know. I mean. Depending on the Jewish community, the ones in London, they've already got their own private security forces, private ambulances, private, like, everything. You know what I mean? They stand apart from the rest of the community, which is why many people sort of accuse them of not really giving a crap what happens to the rest of the community because, you know, they'll be all right. The suspect who was shot dead at the scene has been named as 35-year-old Jihad al-Shami, a British citizen of Syrian descent. Apparently, this translates from Arabic as literally jihadi from Syria. I don't like. Is this an op? Right? Did they say that because it's an op? Right? Like Mossad just like, oh yeah, this will fucking get up them, or is it really? Do we really live in such a clown world that, you know, this guy like rocks up at the border and the Home Office is like, oh, jihadi from Syria, please come this way, right? The attack occurred during worship at the Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation Synagogue on Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish religious calendar, and is being treated by police as a terror incident. I don't know whether this is an Orthodox or Reform synagogue. I don't know what strain of Judaism these guys were following. They do look kind of Orthodox, to be honest. They don't have like the huge hats though. So I don't know. How did the attack unfold? Police responded to reports of a car driving towards members of the public and a man stabbed at the synagogue at 9:30. Officers declared a major incident and arrived on the scene in North Manchester within 7 minutes. A lot of people are trying to compare this to the Southport attack and being like, you know, what was the police response time in Southport, right? There did not seem to be the same amount of, government step-toing it, response when it came to Southport. A large number of people worshipping at the synagogue at the time and were held inside while the surrounding area was made safe. I think there's footage floating out there of the guy getting shot. Screw it. So yes, this guy, went on a rampage. Don't you know that the far right is trying to sow division in the country? I mean, I feel like the country's already in a state of division. This is a peculiarly English thing that you see all the time, where they take something that is clearly already happening and they say, oh, if we don't do something, this thing that is clearly has already happened might happen sometime in the future, and perhaps we should think about, maybe considering if we should call a commission of inquiry or something into this thing and its possibility of happening after it has already happened. Only, of course, to, politically inconvenient things. Multiculturalism, has failed. But I mean, look, I'm in two minds. I'm in two minds about this, right? On the one hand, I do wish that the government cared as much about the sort of the white community generally as they did about their client groups. On the other hand, if it takes sort of moves from the Jewish community to force the government to act decisively against the encroachment of Islam, I'm kind of for that as well. I just wish the government would have done it without the prompting of another one of their client groups. Apparently, this guy was wearing like a fake bomb vest. That was actually like what got him shot. He was like shot once, and then he kept trying to like reach for this vest, and so they shot him again. Yeah. What do we know about the suspect? There we go. As you can see, clearly a Yorkshireman. From the middle of England. You get that phenotype all over the place. It's just insane. But he's a British citizen, bro. He's a British citizen, right? Jihadi al-Shamri from the Worcester al-Shamris. Obviously, the al-Shamris have a long and storied history in the middle of England, up near the Scottish border. They'll be like, oh, he was an English citizen. Don't start talking about paper English people. This is very, very dangerous, don't you know? They have just as much right to be here as everybody else. So fucking gay. This basically sort of started a groundswell. I mean, as you can imagine, right? This is a synagogue that's attacked, like not a church. Imagine living in a country where they cared as much about the people they're supposed to care about as they do about their like pet client groups. Bro.
Good morning to you both, Eamon and Anne. We're live here on the scene where about 100
wait.
metres behind us,
Can you not hear this? Is the browser audio not working? Oh, come on. Well, that's great. That's great. That's really that's awesome. Let's try resetting that, shall we?
The attack took place at Heaton Park Synagogue just under 48 hours ago now, and of course Greater Manchester Police are still investigating, although details do continue to emerge. You were saying there, of course, that last night it emerged that Jihad al-Shami, the 35-year-old terrorist that carried out that attack on the synagogue, was on bail for an alleged rape incident at the time, and it's also been reported that bystanders at the time of the attack heard him shouting.
So the guy was on bail for a rape incident against a young Jewish girl, I bet, right? I bet. No, fucking of course not. Be a rape incident against some poor white girl. If it was a Jewish girl he was accused of raping, he'd never get out on bail. It'd be like a hate crime. Everybody knows you can't do hate crimes against whites.
This is what they get for killing our children, which of course has sparked a lot of speculation, perhaps a thinly veiled reference to what's taking place in Gaza right now, and that of course is why there was the heckling that the David Lammy received at that vigil yesterday. We also now know, of course, more details about the two victims of the attack. We know that Melvin Kravitz, aged 66, he was acting as a security guard for the synagogue at the time when he lost his life. Of course, he and the other victim, Adrian Dolby, aged 53, they've been commended by Greater Manchester Police, particularly Chief Constable Stephen Watson, for their bravery. We know as well now that sad news yesterday that came from Greater Manchester Police that Adrian Dolby was behind the doors of the synagogue attempting to barricade along with his fellow worshippers, trying to stop Jihad al-Shami from entering the synagogue on Yom Kippur. They were barricading the door when armed officers from Greater Manchester Police began firing at the 35-year-old in order to try and bring an end to that terrorist attack when Adrian Dolby was caught in the crossfire, and that is sadly what ended his life. We also know there are 3 people still in hospital. We're hoping for an update from Greater Manchester Police on that later today, as well as further updates on those 6 people who remain.
Mate, caught in police crossfire. Dude, now, she did mention that thing with David Lammy. So, the government, of course, leapt into action. Keir Starmer was away in Copenhagen, but upon hearing the news immediately dropped everything. By everything, of course, he means the war with Russia. That's all Starmer does now, really, is he leaves the country, he hangs out in Europe, and they plan how to destroy the Russians. Because, fuck the country, because the UK is too hard to fix, because all the solutions they can't do. So instead, he spends all his time basically figuring out how to kill more Russians. But this was an attack that would not go unanswered. Unlike Southport, I don't know. Would he have rushed back if it was Southport? Maybe. I mean, that was particularly bad. If it was like someone killed at a church, probably not. Here we go. Here's Starmer in his own words.
The attack in Manchester this morning is absolutely shocking, and all of our thoughts are with those affected. I'm on my way back to London. When I arrive, I will chair an emergency COBRA meeting. I'm already able to say that additional police assets are being deployed to synagogues across the country, and we will do everything to keep our Jewish community safe. I've spoken to Mark Gardner of the CST and Andy Burnham, Mayor of Manchester, and I want to thank the emergency services for the speed of their response. The attack in Manchester this morning is absolutely shocking. And
this, of course, parallels exactly what happened after the Southport attack, where Starmer surged police to cover other dance classes in the area. No, of course he fucking didn't, right? But I imagine they are thinking, this might be a sort of an organized terrorist network as opposed to just a lone Welsh choir boy going a bit Amstrad on a classroom full of young, mostly white girls. So, of course, we get the same song and dance. Starmer says that he will clasp the Jewish community close to his bosom. Anti-Semitism is a hatred that is once again rising. Britain must defeat it. But at the same time, of course, he can't call out the Muslim community directly because Labour depends on them for their votes. He's really between a bit of a rock and a hard place. Here is Starmer.
good evening. Earlier today, on Yom Kippur, the holiest day for the Jewish community, a vile individual committed a terrorist attack that attacked Jews because they are Jews, and attacked Britain because of our values. So many Jewish families first came to this country as a place of refuge, fleeing the greatest evil ever inflicted on a people. And Britain welcomed them. Communities like the one attacked in Manchester provided safety.
Wait, the greatest evil ever inflicted on a people? Do you mean the mass rape of all those young white girls? No. That was an evil, but not as great of an evil. Obviously. Remember. Never forget. Never again is now, bros.
But also the security that comes from a promise that this is a country that stands up to hatred, and that we don't just provide refuge, we provide a home. For so many Jewish families, that is the story of Britain. But Britain is also a country where Jewish buildings, synagogues, even schools require round-the-clock protection, where dedicated specialist security is necessary because of the daily threat of anti-Semitic hatred. Today's horrific incident.
So not anti-Christian hatred or anti-white hatred or it's fine. Look, you're probably right. When has there ever been anything bad ever happened to Christians? Or I think it's fine. Just no. Please fill your boots, Keir. Yeah, go for it.
Shows why. And while this is not a new hate, this is something Jews have always lived with, we must be clear. It is a hatred that is rising once again, and Britain must defeat it once again. On behalf of the nation, I want to offer my condolences.
Just so Keir, Christopher Carrion, Newsfist, how do you plan on defeating this ancient evil censorship. Does it have anything to do with censorship and arresting people for saying stuff? Will you be pushing back against the radical Muslim community? Maybe sort of deporting a bunch of people from Syria, for example? Or will you just, sort of like, pivot and start attacking the whites because, they won't fight back?
To the families and victims affected. I want to thank the Greater Manchester Police, the first responders, and those dedicated security specialists. There is no doubt whatsoever that they have prevented an even greater tragedy, and we thank them for their bravery. But to every Jewish person in this country, I also want to say this. I know how much fear you will be holding inside of you. I really do. And so, on behalf of our country, I express my solidarity.
Can you imagine him ever talking about the English in this way? He's like, oh, I understand the fear that you must have in your heart. No, you white people, fucking bunch of racists. You can fuck off. I'm with the Jewish people now, and tomorrow I'll be with the Muslim people. You get nothing, sir. Good day.
But also my sadness that you still have to live with these fears. Nobody should have to do that. Nobody. And so I promise you...
Nobody? Oh, no, that's great. I imagine Keir is about to come out and acknowledge the fear that the general white population has been feeling for like the last 5 years. Look, I'm sure that's what he's about to say next, right? that everyone in the UK should feel safe, right? Except for the racists, right? They're definitely not supposed to ever feel safe.
That I will do everything in my power to guarantee you the security that you deserve, starting with a more visible police presence protecting your community. I promise you that...
Oh, great! I'll be looking forward to that. Not my community. That's a bit of a shame. That's a bit of a shame, actually.
Over the coming days, you will see the other Britain, the Britain of compassion, of decency, of love. And I promise you that this Britain will come together to wrap our arms around your community and show you that Britain is a place where you and your family are safe, secure, and belong.
Oh, man. I bet there's some other communities in the UK who would really appreciate a message like that, Keir. I can't think of who they are off the top of my head. Oh, mate, he's really giving the sloppy toppy there. Now, as you can imagine, this caused, sort of the general sort of like howling from all the sort of all the right people. I've just, I just got a few selections. Let's see. This is from the news agents. God.
But I also know, very sadly, there are many people in our profession, and sadly in journalism, on the right, I have to say, and probably on the left as well, who will try to use this and are already using it to divide.
When you say already using it, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, I switched on GB News. Actually, as soon as I heard about this, because that's sort of my journalist instinct, and they were talking about asylum seekers. They were talking about how the Prime Minister may, in their view, or in the view of whoever was talking, had lost control over the number of Muslims in this country and so on. Now, that makes all kinds of assumptions about what the attack is and who the perpetrator is. But it is also, in my view...
Yes, that makes all kinds of assumptions about who the perpetrator was. Mr. Jihad al-Shamri. Let us not make assumptions, bros, right? Just because the guy is... I mean, again, right, not to belabor the point, right, but if this was like Joe Blogs from, somewhere in Middle England, right, they would be straight out the gate being like, this is what far-right racism has done to this country. Oh God, I'm just sick of it, mate, right? Like, fucking hell. And you'll notice that they're doing that thing. They're like, oh, we must not, accentuate the divide. If we're not careful, this risks division. Yeah, division has already happened, bro. It's in the back mirror. You know, right? They're struggling for any kind of political formula that could actually deal with the entire country, but they can't, because it's stretched too goddamn thin. Ooh, we got an entropy. Who is the lucky person? Mikey Bikey for $3. Thanks, mate. Pattern spotting is racist, though. It certainly is. I don't want to see anybody in the chat spotting any patterns, submitting to any stereotypes, noticing any kind of generalized behaviors amongst group. That's very, very bad. You'll get done for a hate crime. Okay, so, just be warned. Every single person is an individual, and you cannot draw any inferences about groups generally. Okay, it's against the law to do so, actually.
View what terrorists want. I mean, I'm the person that edited The Sun back in 9/11, the attack on the Twin Towers, and I wrote a leader 2 days after, which is the thing I'm most proud of that I ever did in journalism, and the headline was, Islam is not an evil religion. But I felt very strongly that that is what terrorism is. It seeks to divide.
This is the whitest fucking thing ever, right? Islam is not an evil religion. Which strain of Islam? Right, like Islam is like has multiple versions of it. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Shia? Are you talking about Sunni? Are you talking about the Deobandi? In case you didn't know, Deobandi Islam is the strain that is most prominent in the UK, and it's incredibly extremist, to the point where you see these like chuckle fucks go to like Dubai or Riyadh, and they'll be wandering around being like, bruv, it's Ramadan, bruv. Why is people eating, bruv, right? Like, why is everyone like not devout? And the people in those countries, they look at these idiots, right, who basically came from like Iraq or Syria to the UK and have then like, gone to do the Hajj or something like that, as these complete retarded country bumpkins, because these countries understand the risks of radical Islam. That's why they cracked down on the Muslim Brotherhood, because the Muslim Brotherhood, did coups against their like country, tried to like assassinate people and stuff. So ironically, the actual Islam in Islamic countries in the Middle East is much, much more moderate than the shit that you find in the UK. It's a religion of peace, bro. It's a religion of peace. Which kind of Islam are you talking? Oh my fucking God. Look at me. I'm white as a fucking ghost, and even I understand this. Fucking lipshits. Jesus.
And as journalists, we shouldn't be doing their job for them.
Yeah. I mean, Turning Point UK just tweeted, Britain is under attack. The enemy is within.
I was thinking when I was watching Keir Starmer's speech, whenever it was, just 2 days ago, that actually maybe he's more in touch with the people in the media, is what I was thinking. Not that that's a political point, but he was reaching out to the tolerant heart of the British soul, which I think does exist. What has happened? What has changed?
The tolerant heart of the British soul. I think you are losing the tolerant heart of the British soul, mate. I can't possibly think why that would be. Certainly not just literally importing millions of people from the worst parts of the world and just expecting them to fit in, right? Even though they don't speak the language at all. Oh, mate, I went to get coffee today. I've really missed London. The dulcet tones of Arabic, Aruba, and a bunch of other languages that I just can't identify. It's truly a sort of a cultural smorgasbord. You just, walk down the street and you can't understand a word fucking anyone's saying. You literally play like spot the white person, and even if you do, most of the time they're from Eastern Europe. It's fucked up, mate.
Since 9/11 is that large parts of our political class, particularly on the right, and the media, and you talk about it all the time, have attached themselves to this I would say, near extremism, because it's a commercial thing. It's that there's, Fox News makes a lot of money. GB News is starting to make a lot of money.
Yes. The reason why people are pissed off is because they make money from being pissed off. This is basically sort of like the new NPC chip that's come in, right? Before it was these people are just racist, and now of course, it's been revealed that there are a lot of people who aren't, and now their new pivot is that the reason why people are pissed off is because they're making money from being pissed off. They'll just do anything other than admit the actual goddamn fucking problem. This is really, really funny. So for some reason, they sent David Lammy out to talk to the Jews. Now you might remember that every single time someone white gets killed by a migrant or anything, it's don't look back in anger, bros. Okay, look, we understand your feelings, but there's no reason to be angry. We must all live together. For some weird reason, they don't do this to the Jews. I don't know why that is. Probably because the Jews would turn around and be like, oh my God, remember the Holocaust? What do you mean don't look back in anger? So they get a pass from the don't look back in anger thing. I doubt the Home Office anti-radicalization unit is coming up and threatening to arrest them because they look back in anger. But this is freaking hilarious. Lammy was not well received.
Therefore, I have great pleasure in introducing our Deputy Prime Minister, David Lammy. And before I do, please, we know how we all feel. We know how we all feel.
Go to Palestine! Shame on you! Shame on you! Go to Palestine! Leave us alone!
They've allowed it to work on a campus. The children's school was closed today. You have allowed this to happen.
You have blood on your hands!
You're all guilty. And you have allowed 2 Asians in Manchester on the street. You have allowed it. You are all guilty. You do not want this meeting here today. You do not want this meeting. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Tough crowd. Let's see how David Lammy does with his incredible powers of speech and negotiation.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Enough!
Empty words.
Okay, all right, we've heard enough. We've heard enough. We've heard enough. We know how you feel. I know how I feel. Let's give the time for our Deputy Prime Minister to address us. David Lammy.
Friends, we must stand together today. We must stand in grief, in solidarity and in defiance.
In solidarity and defiance. Oh my God, it's getting on. Who's this? This is Lord Hermer. So all the Jews in the Labour government, of which there are many, are coming out and being like, oh my God, this is terrible. Again, they're not being told, don't look back in anger for some reason.
Let me start with a message for the government and from the Home Secretary. You can't feign surprise, you can't feign shock as the Prime Minister did yesterday when you've allowed calls for an intifada for the very thing that we saw yesterday in Manchester. When you've allowed those calls to go unchecked and unchallenged, you can't then be surprised that what these people are calling for happens. And of course, not everyone on the marches is calling for hatred and violence against Jews. There are people
talking about protests.
Exactly. There are people who are going because they genuinely are concerned about the situation in Israel and in Gaza, and that's fine. And I'm a big proponent of free speech, and people should have the right to protest. But to do that and to shout intifada until victory, to chant for a global intifada, to chant for jihad, and then for that to happen, there's a direct link between the two. And just to add to that, the Prime Minister said yesterday in his...
So he's all for free speech, but not for free speech, right? I get it. Shabana Mahmood, the Home Secretary, then came out. There was reports of a mosque getting a firebomb thrown at it, and just like that, the grievance between the two groups, the Jews and the Muslims, were equalized once again. Thank goodness, because it is only this precarious balance that holds the British state together. It is a good thing, of course, that no other religious, sites in the UK are getting attacked. It would be terrible if there were over 200 church burnings in the last 5 years. If that were the case, I'm sure the government would be all over that. They would make it a top priority, around 40 per year. That's amazing. It's probably higher than that. Look, I'm sure the government is like absolutely on it any day now. So the government then came out and basically said, we're going to need new police powers to suppress repetitive protests. Obviously, this is aimed putatively at the Palestine guys, but will almost certainly be used against the anti-immigration protests as well. Awesome. Oh my God, I'm running late. The Labour conference has been an absolute shit show. I'll just play you some highlights of this. Lemmy again sticking his foot very, very far in his mouth. This one was great. Really channeling that big brain where he was claiming that Nigel Farage was associated with the Hitler Youth. Now, I know Farage is a bit long in the tooth, but I didn't know that he was that long in the tooth.
Is Nigel Farage a racist?
I answered your question. I'm not going to play the man. I'm playing the ball as our leader did. I will leave it for the public to come to their own judgments about someone who once flirted with Hitler Youth when he was younger. That is for the public, but we will be...
Is Nigel Farage a racist?
This is increasingly what the right basically are doing now. They're baiting the left into calling them racist because they know it doesn't work anymore and they just look increasingly unhinged. It's going to be like the whole, what is a woman thing, basically. Here's Starmer talking like a bunch of shit. They've got like a whole national renewal thing going around. It's about as terrible as you would expect. Just look at this shit show.
I've seen change.
I've seen change.
I've seen change. I've seen change. I've seen change. I've seen change in my family. So free breakfast clubs for me.
When was the last time any of you guys saw a red-headed white girl in political messaging? This is clearly they clearly realize they're losing the white electorate. This is very very, very disturbing that they would be messaging to the whites.
And my family have been a bit of a lifesaver at the moment with the cost of living, and the bonus of not having to pay for that breakfast club has helped us use money elsewhere. So I know lots of families where the higher minimum wage has helped them a lot as well. So things are improving. Labour have given me and my family the support we need so we can focus on what really matters, what we all work hard for, to be able to spend time with our family.
I've seen change with Labour securing my job for the future. The Prime Minister and the Cabinet saved the jobs of 3,700 workers and countless others in the supply chain here at British Steel.
Oh yeah? Why was that British steel plant about to close? Buff white dude. Oh yes, because of government policy around net zero, which they won't repeal. But that's okay. They saved this one plant. We got another super chat. Again from Mikey Bikey. For $3, I've seen change too. Just the wrong kind of change. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and by the way, please do get your super chats in. I do need therapy beers in order to cope with being in London until my check from either the Russians or the Israelis or from Palantir comes in. I'm not sure who I'm going to sign with yet. It's a bit of bell at the ball. They're all coming up and they're being like, please let us give you money for doing this kind of like messaging. I'm quite honoured. I just, it's nice to be wanted. It's nice to be seen.
We need Earth monies to appear as normal Earth pigs. Mini Moose, how much have we earned?
Thank you very much, Mikey Bikey. Right, let's. This is just.
Along with the recalling of Parliament and the trade deals thereafter, it has cemented and firmed our belief that we have a future in our industry. It's refreshing to have a government that sees the value in our work and understands the importance to our community and our country. Myself and all the other workers here can provide for our families now and for a long time to come.
Well, I've seen change in terms of the national security within the UK.
Man, there's a lot of white people in this commercial. Wait, how long have we got to go before we see a minority? She looks sort of kind of minority. Let me see. Can she speak English?
A huge difference, and saying that has made a positive difference today.
Speak some English, right? Okay. Not properly diverse though. Here we go. Finally we get to a bit of proper diversity. Nearly 3 minutes in, bros. Whoa, I don't know about that. I don't know what these people. I don't know. This is the same woman. Come on, we need some like proper diversity. Where's the black youth? Oh, here we go. One diversity spotted. But only for a couple of frames. My God. And then we're back to the white woman. Ooh, I don't know. Bit racist, Labour. They're clearly in the shit with the white electorate. And at the same time, of course, Starmer basically decided to declare war upon anyone who thinks that multiculturalism isn't working anymore. Great. I'm sure that's going to be very effective.
I will fight with every breath I have. Fight for working people. Fight for the tolerant, decent, respectful Britain that I know. People say, Conference, that a nation like ours can't be a community, that it's too diverse, too divided. I reject that. That goes against everything I stand for, everything I've served, everything.
I love how Starmer's argument basically is the truth goes against everything I stand for. Look, man, you can stand for all the stuff that you want, okay? It's not going to alter the facts on the ground, mate. I guess when you're a social constructivist, right? This is basically the way you look at everything. You're just like, things aren't working. Crank up zip propaganda with more propaganda. Oh, for fuck's sake. No, I'm afraid this isn't the cringe, Sades. Maybe I'll skip the cringe. I'm just this is what's happening in the UK. I don't know what to tell you.
I understand about this great country that I love. So no matter how many people tell me that it can't be done, I believe Britain can come together, that we can pursue a shared destination, that we can unite around a common good. That is my ambition, the purpose of this government. End decline, reform our public services, grow our economy from the grassroots, and with resolve, with respect, with the flag in our hands, we will renew this country until we can say with total conviction that Britain is built for all.
Oh, yeah. Any day now, any day. Look, just through sheer force of conviction and this sort of vague appeal to my British values. What are they? Who knows, right? They actually posted this. This is from the official Labour account. Just so you know, I'm not lying here, right? This is from the official Labour account. Together, we can achieve a Britain built for all. Painting a fence, running the raffle, cutting the half-time orange, or even just that gentle knock at the door, which checks your neighbour is all right. That's real Britain. What the fuck is this? This is my point. The political formula that they are trying to pursue in order to unite a incredibly divided country is now so thin. They are just appealing to things that not even the whites believe is Britain anymore. Painting a fence, running the raffle, cutting the halftime orange. What the fuck is wrong with? Who the fuck wrote this? I'm starting to believe that whoever writes Keir's speeches absolutely hates him. And of course, this was memed into perfection. Abdul and Mohammed following your daughter through the park after her hockey class, or even that gentle 3 a.m. knock at the door from 6 armed police for one of your ex-posts. That's real Britain. Or even that gentle knock at the door from the police after you criticize Israel. Oh my God. Paying a 60% effective tax rate while on a 2-year waiting list to see an NHS consultant, while your local empty barbers and kebab shops only accept cash. That's real Britain. Just, oh mate. Awesome memes. Awesome memes. Yeah, and basically, right, like, if you are the enemy. If you don't believe any of this crap, you are the enemy. Ardent, the halftime orange is like a sort of Anglo, sort of Britain. They did it in Australia, where like you have like a soccer match, and at halftime they bring out oranges, and you have a slice of orange. I mean, I just, like, what appeal does this actually have? Like, they must, oh mate, they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel at this point.
And conference. If you say or imply that people cannot be English or British because of the colour of their skin, that mixed heritage families owe you an explanation, that people who've lived here for generations, raised their children here, built their lives here, working in our schools, our hospitals, running businesses, are our neighbours. If you say they should now be deported, then mark my words, we will fight you with everything we have, because you are the enemy of national renewal.
Yeah. This was basically in response to Reform saying that they're going to scrap indefinite leave to remain and reverse the Boris wave. And of course, you know, that's racist, obviously. You know, everybody knows that it's racist to not have as many black and brown people in your country as possible. Now, stuff has gotten so bad that Starmer is saying that, you know, they're considering thinking about possibly starting a commission into looking at the feasibility of possibly starting an inquiry in order to change how international law is used in asylum cases. They are suffering sort of incredibly bad political capital because every single time they try and deport someone, they appeal to some of the sort of clauses in the European Convention on Human Rights, notably the right to family life, which is now just sort of routinely abused. There was a case of a guy who basically said, oh, you can't send me back. My child only eats English chicken nuggets. Right, you know. Or you get done for rape, and, oh, you know, we can't deport him to another country because they'll punish me for being a rapist. It's insane. It's insane. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. What the fuck is this? Oh yes, another development. Channel 4 did an undercover investigation against the Met Police. Apparently they've been spending actual crime, and there are still some racists in the Met Police. The woke purge obviously is not complete. So they fired all the officers that they managed to get drunk and got to say an off-colour thing. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't Channel 4, it was BBC Panorama. I can barely tell the difference. Here is the milquetoast commissioner of the Met basically saying, racism will not be acceptable. You know, we will continue the woke purge.
Panorama's material shows a corrupt clique of officers engaging in absolutely reprehensible behaviour. They're racist, they're misogynist, they're bragging about excess use of force, and they're showing a complete disregard for the people of London that they serve. It's bound to anger members of communities. I completely recognise that, and it will probably cause some to question the trust they hold the police in. We depend upon that.
Don't worry, it won't cause me to question my trust in the police. I don't have any left to question, so you know.
That trust to succeed in the policing of London. We've acted with rigour, determination and pace as we've confronted this case. Within 48 hours, 10 individuals were suspended from duty, away from being able to harm the public. Others were restricted, and we've broken up the local teams at Charing Cross. the speed and determination of this response is indicative.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, our final story. Yes, Sades, that is the head of the Met, the soy head of the Met. Right, our final story, Net Zero Banking Alliance falls after mass exodus by members. Yes, this has been on the cards for a while. Turns out that banks like making money. But not only that, there are certain laws that basically sort of say, you know, banks are supposed to make money. They are supposed to invest in things that make money for the people that have their money with them. And of course, you know, the whole UN Sustainable Development Goals was supposed to get around the problems of capitalism and force these banks to invest in green projects that, quite frankly, don't make a lot of money because all the money comes from the government. That's you and me. And I love supporting all of this like bullshit. Because, of course, I'm sure all of you, like me, have infinite money to spend on, you know, food and electricity, and the fact that the prices of that just keep going up. It's no skin off my back, man. I'll just phone up my my contact in Russia and get some more Blyat coin for, you know, being a Russian shill or, you know, whatever I am. But please, don't think just because I'm being paid in Blyat coin, you know, you can not donate via Entropy. You know, Entropy is actually my primary funding source from the Russians and the tech bros, actually. Net Zero Banking Alliance is to cease operations after a vote to wind up the group, which had already lost many of its members amid allegations from some US lawmakers that membership breached antitrust regulations. So it's the Americans that killed it, right? It wasn't the English that killed it. It was the Americans. The American government started sniffing around and being like, you know, shouldn't you be like trying to make more money for your members? And the banks are like, yeah, but you know, like, you know, the UN, the STGs, you know, my sustainability loans. And the Americans are like, nah, don't think so. Apparently it's going to be a framework initiative now. It's dead. It's totally dead. The Americans killed it. As a result of this decision, the Net Zero Banking Alliance will cease operations immediately. Love it. I didn't vote in the American election, but if I did, this would be what I voted for. This is the guidance for climate target setting by banks and all this fucking like bullshit, basically. So that's great. What else have we got? So the Green Party in the UK, they're trying to have a bit of a renaissance behind this guy, Zach Polanski, who's, you know, just a communist, pronouns oy vey, of course. And they have just voted to abolish landlords. And you might be like, what the fuck? Yes, well, that's what I thought as well. So their new platform basically is to seek the effective abolition of private landlordism, which presumably means the government will, from this point, be your landlord. If you sell a rental property, the tenant will be given the first right to buy, and all of the rent that they have paid you over the lifetime of the property will be discounted from the sale price. And then the councils would get the second right to buy. They also want to introduce rent controls, because communism, and end buy-to-let mortgages. This will apparently address the housing crisis. I don't know how. Every single time they've tried stuff like this, it reduces the stock of available housing. But, like, communists can't end economics, obviously. Landlords were described as adding no positive value to the economy or society, which also said that the relationship between landlord and tenant is inherently and intrinsically extractive and exploitative. A land value tax on landowners, levying national insurance on private rents, and making all rental agreements long-term that can only be terminated by the tenant. So if you got a rental property and you have a tenant, it has to be a permanent agreement, and the only way that agreement can be terminated is if the tenant wants to leave. You basically will not be able to kick them out. Awesome. It's just bullshit, mate. Oh my god. And what the fuck is this? Oh yeah, no, this is the new police powers. Right, that's it. That's all of the news that we have for tonight. What else have we got? It's time for some cringe. I know it's been quite a cringy. Let's see, what have we got? The fucking Pope blessing a block of ice. Catholic bros, I feel for you. Oh, thanks, Twitter. Yeah, just please be retarded right in the middle of my show. I appreciate that. Oh, here we go. Look at him. Look at him.
We
he's
commit
doing his,
to raising hope and to continuing to...
Go on. Bless the block of ice. Where is he actually doing the blessing? Well, trust me. He blesses the block of ice at some point. With his holy thing. Why? Because climate change, basically. So I feel for you, Catholic bros. I really, really do. Oh, there he is. He's blessing the ice.
Community, may we work towards a flourishing of all creation, held in being by our Creator, through Christ our Lord.
Drip, says the block of ice. Hey man, ice is basically water. Okay, they bless water all the time. Why not ice? It'll be a potent symbol of the fight against climate change. This is not really cringe. This is kind of cool. These people made a big 1984 mural on a beach, and then the cops turned up. That's pretty cool, honestly. What else we got? Right, we got some like funny stuff for you. This goes out to everyone in the chat. You know who you are.
Give your life to Jesus and stop dreaming about penis. You got to pray the gay away. Yeah, pray the gay away.
I'm rooting for you, bros. I'm rooting for you. Oh yeah, this is pretty funny. I think this is in Portland, using like AI Trump voice to troll the protesters.
Leave this restricted area and maybe something to detention. Depart the restricted area. Thank you. This is the Federal Protective Service. The facility is closed and not open to the public. Stay out of the area of the driveway to allow for vehicular traffic. Remain on the sidewalk or across the street. Everyone must leave this restricted area and may be subject to detention or arrest for failing to depart the restricted area. Thank you. Leave this restricted area and may...
That's pretty awesome. What else we got? So the new Sora, the new AI video thing is out. Sora is on Google. People have been, I mean, obviously it's going to get nerfed, but people have been doing some really funny stuff.
Get ready to jet to fun with Secret Island. Fly in your own private plane, then unlock the hidden massage room.
Whoa, secret room!
Kick back with 2 chill old dudes and discover the treasure.
Treasure time!
Fly in on the private plane, pop open the door, and the old guys arrive in style.
There's treasure in here!
Hit the rock.
Bam!
Secret room packed with loot. Twist the volcano and...
Hit
the panic button.
Here goes! It's so loud!
Whoosh! Slide into the swirl! The squishiest blue and white goo that makes waves any way you want. Stretch it, splash it.
Whoa, it opened! The only island with real working spy cams hidden in secret rooms.
And I can see it on the
Track
screen.
the old guys, guard the treasure, and fly in with your own private plane. Hey, new from Toy Island.
It's Orange Man!
Don't release the files.
Push us back and hear the real talking action.
He's guarding the top secret
Not for
file.
long.
Don't release the file. Capture him, lock him up, and expand the adventure.
Shh! Don't tell anyone.
Get ready.
It's terrible, but also funny. UK Christmas is coming early this year, bros.
Just hear those sleigh bells ting-a-ling-a-ring-a-ting-a-ting-a-ling-a-too. Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ding-dong-a-ding. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with a Jew. Outside the snow is falling and friends are coming.
Cute cat videos.
Comrades of the Whiskered Nation, for too long mice have gnawed at our pantries, stolen our crumbs, spread their filth through our alleys. They creep in shadow, living off the labour of honest...
Oh yeah, this is good. Seti Sapiente sent me this. This is good.
Mate, have you seen this? NHS is saying it's a good thing to fuck your first cousin. Really? Yeah, honestly, mate, look, it says it right here in the Telegraph, look. It says it's linked to stronger extended family support systems and economic advantages.
Oh, mate, that's wicked.
What, you think it's got economic advantages?
No, mate, my cousin's well fit.
You're joking, ain't you? Which one?
Leslie. Got a fucking pair of legs on it and all. Do you know what? Subconsciously, I think I've been working on it for a long time.
Hold on. You ain't actually going to do it, are you?
You're right, Leslie. I'm just in your local. Fancy a drink? Yeah? I'll see you in a minute.
Mate, I can't believe you're actually going to do this.
Yes, Dan. How you doing, mate? I haven't seen you in ages.
All right.
What's happening?
You alright, mate? What's your name?
Nice to meet you, man. I'm Leslie.
Hula hoop?
Oh, yeah, nice one. Yeah, cheers.
How's our marriage?
Not great, mate.
You seen the news lately?
Dan.
No, why?
Wicked. Come with me.
Dan, you can't do this, mate.
Fuck off, Daryl. I'm building stronger extended family support systems and getting economic advantages. Come on.
Dan.
Get your own cousin.
All right, Aunt Michelle. How old's Jessica now?
Right, cute animals. This was sent to me by Victorian Time Traveler. Thanks very much, mate.
What's up, Skip? Hey, off. Go away. Kangaroos.
Yes, kangaroos are dicks. What else have we got? Sheep having a bath.
Hey, la da da ding dong, a lang a lang a lang, a boom da doo, ba doo da doo doo day. Oh, life could be a dream if I can take you up to paradise above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love, life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, yes, oh, life could be a dream if only all my precious plans would come true. If you would let me spend my whole life loving you, life could be a dream, sweetheart. Now every time I look at you, something is on my mind. If you do what I want you to, baby, we'd be so fine. Life could be a dream if I can take you up to...
Wow, they really do seem to love that sheep. Right, cute puppies. Enjoy.
You sound like seagulls. Do you want lunch? Yes. Your yogurt's coming. Your You need to be saying pop. Are your ears ready to pop?
Aww. I love Samoyeds. Catch by the Sea. What else have we got? Aw, Huskies. Oh, Huskies are so cute. Psycho, but cute. And our last cute animal video of the night. Oh, I'm actually running early. I guess because I didn't have have that much cringe. Doggo and goats. And that's it. That's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming, bros. At the moment, we're just on once a week. So Monday nights, of course, we'll be doing the Friday night stream. And I might start adding like a Wednesday history stream. I'm still working it out. But you can follow me on Twitter at malinformedtv or the Telegram chat, just a bit of warfare. Telegram chat. Sadies, if you want to like stick that in the thing. If you want updates on what I'm doing, say a quick goodbye to the chat on Rumble, Full Short, Sadi Sapiente, Teabagging Therapist, Captain Crisps, Origin Party, Mikey Bikey. Thanks for super chats, Mikey. I appreciate that. Livia Drusilla, Total Blackout Painting, Jay Chiva Loophole, anybody else? I'm sure there's some more people in here somewhere. Excuse me. Edie Wolf. I think that's it. Apologies if I missed anyone on Rumble. On YouTube, Robert Verlinden, the carnal conservative. Oh, I think you're new. Welcome. Jacob Cantrell, good to see you, mate. Linda Hunter, Sunny Jim, Fragile Thinking, Victorian Time Traveller, Swirly, James Cole, Hurt Chain. Who else? Anybody else? Proper Pictures, good to see you, mate. Yiz, but she's gone. I think that's everybody. Yes. Oh, Aaron C., the Clown Town Chronicle. Good to see you, mate. I think you're new. Fragile Thinking. I think that's it. Oh, and 007, of course. Sar. And on Odyssey, Papa Lazaru. Good to see you, Dave. Clint Wayne, Highland Fall. Anybody else? Anybody else? I think that's everybody. Right, I will see you all either Wednesday or Friday. I'm not sure. Friday, most definitely. I hope you all have an excellent week, chaps. Good night.